You're looking at a $45 purchase from an estate sale. It's fascinating. Probably one of the first FM radios, but we're going to rip out the guts and render the radio function completely useless. I've always liked the idea of a secret hidden compartment, so we're going to build one today. Why? Guess shut up, that's why. There's probably someone out there who stumbles on this video at 1 o'clock in the morning after a Taco Bell run and complains that we should be doing a restoration. Maybe. In reality, this thing was probably headed for a dumpster, so this is the next best thing. As you can see, I'm disassembling and cutting open the top. The idea is that this section moves up and down mechanically by using some standing desk hardware. This is just some cheap standing desk hardware from Amazon that I had to cut down to fit, drill some holes so I could attach it to the cabinet, and also modify it with some extra support by fabric cobbling it together so that it's a little more sturdy. I've never done this before, but I really enjoyed the challenge of figuring out how to make it work and learned a ton in the process. I'm making the cabinet from some white oak veneered MDF that I got from my friend Rick. Start off with some cup holders on the CNC, and then it's just a matter of gluing it together, adding some nails and adding a few screws to keep it all tight. Black walnut is going to be used to trim out the edges and the corners. Got some scraps lying around that I used up. I also have this scrap that seemed to fit nicely with some interesting figure. I cut some circles out of walnut plywood for the glasses. It took quite a bit of sanding to remove all the old finish from this cabinet, as well as the new cabinet that was assembled. Here I'm working on the control box for the standing desk hardware. Normally this gets mounted on the desk so you can control the height of said desk. I'm mounting it on the back of this unit. I really wanted to incorporate it into the old buttons and knobs on the front, but that's way beyond my electrical engineering knowledge. A few finishing touches on this, and now it's time to put some polyurethane on to really make the walnut pop. I used a wipe-on polyurethane, which I think covers really nicely and doesn't leave any drips. I put about 5 coats on, sanding in between each coat. I used some fabric that I found in my wife's scrap bin to cover up some of the uglier spots of this cabinet. Now it's time to reassemble. Can you even call this a YouTube project if you don't add some LED strip lights? I don't think so. Last thing to do here is a little cover for the control box. Basically an up and a down button only. And here's the finished product. This is a lot of fun to build, and I really had a great time learning and figuring things out. I'm not really a bourbon guy, so please excuse the lack of quality liquor in this cabinet. Thanks for watching.